hand by show of hands, how many of you have had a moment where you did not feel proud and confident? Everybody's hands should be raised because as a woman, especially as a Black woman, we have definitely had that moment. And this is going into my slides, but I guess we'll catch up. So for me, that moment started when I was one out of the 50 students in my grade. I was the one Black girl. This is in middle school, right? And when you're the only one, you learn very quickly that standing out isn't as pretty as people make it seem. It feels different when you're sitting in history class, the topic is slavery in America, and suddenly every set of eyes in the room starts shifting towards you. That happened to me. It feels different when you're the only one who looks like you in the room, in the class, on the team, in the space. And for a long time, that made me want to disappear. Especially growing up in the Eastern Shore of Virginia, the middle of nowhere, y'all. Country, population not that big, diversity even smaller. And there I learned to shrink myself. Not because I didn't have a voice, but because I went through experiences there where being seen made me feel uncomfortable in my skin. So I got good at being talented, but not too visible. Good at having dreams, but still keeping them quiet enough so no one would notice if I failed. And that reasons, if you told middle school me that I would one day willingly participate in a scholarship pageant, I would laugh in your face. I would be like, who are you playing? Simply because a pageant to me was being seen on purpose and judged for all the insecurities that I had at that time. My walk, my talk, my confidence, my ability to command a room. But I'll be honest, by the time I got to Alabama Agricultural and Mechanical University, I was ready to change that. I was determined that HBCU, that historically Black college and university, was going to be where I learned to step into my crown and my confidence. Now, another thing to realize about HBCU culture is that confidence doesn't necessarily just come easy at all. For the first time, I was not the minority in the room, but at the same time, the environment can be a little intimidating, especially for a group who came from a small town. Some of them students on campus already had the walk, the talk, the confidence, the presence, the network, and then there was me. But despite all of that, I still decided to apply to one of the most competitive, well-known scholarship pageants on campus, and that was the Miss Old Gold and Black Scholarship Pageant, which was hosted by the Alphas on our campus. Now, to know me is to understand I was not a pageant girly by any means at all. I mean, I grew up playing softball, rolling around in dirt for fun. I was a computer science nerd and a theater kid who also didn't even know how to walk in heels. So as I'm applying, of course, doubt is screaming at me, telling me you're going to fail, you're going to embarrass yourself, people are going to be talking about you in a cab every day for the week. But there was also another quieter voice within me that was telling me, how can I become the woman who is proud and confident while saying no to the experiences that shape her? So I applied. And I said yes to that pageant. Not just any yes, something I like to call a brave yes, which is saying yes while fear is still in the room. Before you feel fully ready, it's saying yes to something that has the power to challenge you, stretch you, and transform you into the version of yourself you always wanted to be. And for this reason, I'm extremely grateful. Oh, there go my slides. For this reason, I was extremely grateful for my experience in the pageant because not only did I learn what it meant to be crowned and confident, it shaped me. It really did shape me into the woman that I had always wanted to be. And that is really what I want to share today. When I talk about crowned and confidence, I'm not just talking about fame, applause, being perfect, standing ovations. No, I'm talking about the seasons where your confidence is truly tested, where your crown truly feels heavy. But one thing that I've learned in my 22 years of life is that, and actually I was live for this. Can we click? One more, yep, one more. Yep, that's my campus is beautiful, isn't it, y'all? Yes, it is. One more. There we go. This is what I want to share. The crown does not disappear just because confidence wavers. And I'm going to say say it again. The crown does not disappear just because confidence wavers. You might be asking, well, how do you know that? What is the proof? And I'm going to give you guys 3 pieces of evidence that I've learned. Number 1, the pains that grow us, the people that reflect us, and the essence that God has placed within us are all pieces of evidence that the crown still fits. And that is what I'm going to remind each and every one of you throughout my time up here. The crown still fits. Even when it gets a little heavy, even when it slips a little bit, and even when life is stretching you, the crown still fits. So let's get into this first piece of evidence. Next slide, here we go. Oh, one more to the back. There we go. Growing pains. These are the pains that literally grow us as a person. I'm talking about the tough times you face, going through new challenges, new experiences, new stages of life. And I hope I can be vulnerable and say that I'm going through a really big growing pain in my life right now. As someone who just graduated about a year ago, I'm new to Charlotte. We can go to the next slide. I'm new to Charlotte. And my family is not here. I don't have really any family here. They're all either back in Alabama or in Maryland, and that's been hard to deal with. On top of that, I started a new job, a corporate job. It's my first time working a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life, and that's been an adjustment. I'm like, I'm ready, to go to get there. I'm grateful and blessed for that opportunity, of course, but it's been difficult. And on top of that, I'm on my new journey of faith in walking to God. That's something that I really, really want to prioritize. Thank you. And that has been a challenge, especially trying to grow genuine, meaningful connections in this new chapter of my life. But as it was already mentioned, I'm also on a path to entrepreneurship. And that's new because I didn't study that in college. Most days I am making decisions and I'm not even sure if they're the right decisions at all. Especially not having the network, the business connections here. That's hard to start. So you'll see the sticker. That is what happens in my mind a lot, almost every day. It's just like, somebody help your girl, please. Like, I need help. And it hits different when I have this nasty habit of comparing who I am now with the girl I was in college. Because that girl, she was making moves. She was really making moves, saying great yeses, doing pageants, really finding experiences that would shape her into the crown of confident woman she wanted to be. But now that feels so different. It almost feels quieter, this chapter in my life, and honestly, sometimes even a little bit lonelier. But as I learned then, as I'm learning now, that the discomfort that I'm feeling isn't a sign that anything is wrong. It's just a sign that I'm growing. And in the pageant, I went through so many growing pains, and one of the big ones was after I applied, I got accepted. I was one of 9 girls. And some of those girls from day one, they had to walk, they had to talk, they had everything that I did from day one, especially some of them even knew how to walk in heels already, and I was still learning. I was learning that very fundamental step. But I had to learn very quickly that the discomfort I was facing there wasn't meant to destroy me, it was just meant to shape and grow me. And that is what I want to remind everyone is, that your crown grows with you. Your crown at 16 is not gonna look the same as your crown at 25. Your crown as a single woman isn't gonna look the same as someone who's in a relationship, and vice versa. The version of you who carried the last crown might not be the same version of you who carries the next one in your new chapter, in your new season. So when you start to think that your crown, your confidence is wavering, remember, your crown is still there, it still fits. It's just growing and expanding right along with you. So let's go on to this next piece of evidence that you are still crowned and confident. Your circle. These are your ride or dies, the people who are in your corner and remind you who you are when you forget. These are the people that won't let you tilt your head down. They'll hold your head up, on your crown right along with it. For me, in this pageant, going back to this pageant again, I went through so many hard experiences, and I never would have made through any of that without the people in my circle. My friends, for starters, they supported me through everything, especially learning how to walk in heels. They taught me that. Even when I knew that I looked crazy like a little baby deer learning to walk for the first time, they were there at every step of the way. My mom, she flew all the way from Maryland to Alabama to take me pageant dress shopping because I had no idea what a pretty pageant dress looked like. And then on top of that, my talent for the pageant was singing and playing guitar at the same time. And I had never done that on a stage in front of people. And I had my boyfriend there who just reminded me of that my confidence was there, support. All of these hard experiences where I thought I wasn't crowned and confident, I had to let my circle in. And for a girl who was used to shrinking herself and not wanting to be seen, it was hard. Being vulnerable through the growing pains, learning, still stumbling. It takes humility, courage, trust. But most importantly, it takes the right circle. Because the right people, they won't see where you're at. They'll see where you're going. They won't just see insecurities, they'll see potential. They won't just see someone stumbling, learning to walk in heels. They'll see a woman who's learning to walk in confidence. And that is one of the greatest gifts you can have. But I also want to address something. Some of us might be in a season where we feel like we don't have that circle right yet. Maybe you moved, your friendships are changing, family dynamic is changing. Someone supported the last version of you, but they might not support this new version. Or you're just trying to make genuine connections and it's been hard. Whatever it is, I understand because that's what I'm going through right now. But what I'm learning, what I want to share is that just because we might not have the circle we desire yet, doesn't mean we are less crowned. Maybe it means that we're being taught to seek spaces where your crown can be more appreciated, better celebrated, and better viewed. Regardless, your circle matters because we all need people who will celebrate us, remind us, correct us. So when my crown and my confidence start to waver, I always look at the people God has placed in my life already, already around me. And for me, if you go to the next slide, the top left, those are my best friends. We call ourselves the Links. We do have a little group name. These are the same girls who taught me how to walk in heels. And then the middle picture, those are my line sisters. There's 21 of us, and all 21 of them showed up for me at that pageant. And then, of course, my family all the way on the right. Those are my day ones. Literally would not be here without them. So I hope you guys are taking this moment to think about your circle, those people who are in your corner no matter what, because they will be there. They would not be there if they didn't see something in you that was worth supporting. So when you start to think that your crown and your confidence isn't there, look to your circle. Not only will they remind you the crown still fits, they'll remind you and also help you carry it. So next piece of evidence, this is my last piece of evidence and I'm gonna close it out. Your essence. The dictionary definition is the core, nature, intrinsic quality, or indispensable element of a person or thing that makes them what they are. But what this really means is that thing about you that cannot be denied, duplicated, or taken away. Your light, your gift, the thing that persists when life starts to get hard. And for me, next slide, that's my voice. Not necessarily my speaking voice. Not necessarily my singing voice, that's okay, but I mean my ability to speak with passion, with emotion, with the true desire to want to bring people into the words that I'm saying. And it's been like that for me for as long as I can remember, even through my weakest moments, like grief, when I've been the only black girl in the room, or in moments where I just haven't been prepared at all. My voice still rings strong and true through all of that. And those moments help remind me that not only is the crown on top of me, it's not something that just sits on top of your head, it's within you. Within you because God placed it there. That means nothing can take it away. So there's a picture of me up here. This is me doing my workshops for the first time after I officially launched my business, promoting and trying to share my voice, my gift with the world. And then also I really enjoy playing guitar, guys. That's also a part of my essence as well. But I want to bring to light that whatever your essence is for you, sometimes it might not be your voice. Maybe it's your creativity, your perseverance, your ability to organize chaos, or your ability to survive something that truly should have destroyed you. Whatever it is, everybody has that one thing that makes them special. And unfortunately, when we go through these hard times in life, we start forgetting that. We start comparing our crown to material things. But again, Not only is your crown proven through the people around you, through the things we overcome, it's also proven in what remains true about you when life gets difficult. That is your essence. Your essence is evidence your crown still fits, because nothing can take it away from you if God placed it there. Now, next slide. As I think back to that middle school girl, the 1 out of 50, the girl who learned to shrink herself, I really wish she could have seen me standing on that pageant stage, because, spoiler alert, I ended up winning that pageant. I never thought that crown would be placed on my head. I really wish that middle school girl would have seen it. But more importantly, I wish she would have known that crown wasn't the beginning of her confidence. It was always there. It was there through the pains that grew her. It was there through the people in her circle. It was there through her essence, something that God had already placed within her, even if she didn't know what that was. Nothing could have taken it away. But I really want to remind everyone here today that you might be going through a season where your crown is heavier than usual, or maybe your confidence isn't as strong as it was, or maybe you're going through a season of transition, of healing, of motherhood, of adulting. None of that means your crown is gone. Look again. Look at your own growing pains. That's evidence your crown is expanding. Look at your circle. That's evidence your crown is witnessed. Look within yourself as your essence. That's something God placed within you, and something that will always be there. Whatever it is. And I have this mantra I live by. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I actually have that tatted. I'm not sure if y'all like tattoos or not, but this is my first big girl tattoo. I had it tatted on me. This is what made me get through, those tough times in college. And I want to give you guys a mantra to repeat after as well. So repeat after me. Next slide. Oh, actually, go back one over. It was already there. Say, my crown may feel heavy.
My crown may feel heavy.
But it still fits.
But it still fits.
One more time. My crown may feel heavy.
My crown may feel heavy.
But it still fits.
But it still fits.
So whenever you have those moments and you start to forget that, just come back to this phrase. Your crown still fits. So carry it, adjust it, protect it, grow into it. And when life tries to convince you that it's not there, remember, the crown still fits. That's the last slide. Thank you guys so much.